everyone, it's Linda McKenna coming to you today with Tuesday Talks from Golden Rule Senior Placement Services. Today we were going to have a topic, since we are in a new month, it's March, and we are going to be talking about March into this new month with 7 tips for keeping seniors busy and active. It's beautiful weather pretty much all around the United States right now. And you want to take advantage of that is to get out and be a little bit active and doing things. And mobility is important. The more that you move, as we've discussed many times before, if you don't use it, you lose it. So why not be busy and be active and have a very fruitful day? And so it's something to look forward for the next day rather than just not existing. So these are a couple little tips that we have put together, and making sure that maybe you could do 1 or 2 of them. I don't say all 7 of them, but it gives you an idea to maybe alternate them week to week, day to day, and at least using them or trying to use them with your senior loved one. The first one is accommodate mobility issues. Realize that if somebody's not walking a lot or has abnormality of gait and needing assisted devices, don't let them try to do a lot of these activities without using their assisted devices. There's going to be periods of time that they're going to have to rest, especially if they are usually in a wheelchair for most of the day. And if you want them up and around a little bit with your assistance, make sure that there is a rest period. So mobility is important, but keep into consideration how you have to accommodate those needs as well, too. It's also very important that the home is set up that way. Also large doorways to get in and out of the house, the front door. Is there a ramp if somebody is using a wheelchair primarily? Even a walker that tends to be a little bit wider. The doorways are a little bit wider so they can get into the bathroom, to the commode, so they can ambulate without obstructive areas. So we want to make sure that they are got good footing to accomplish some of these activities, but take into consideration they're going to get tired, but more importantly, don't push them to a limit, but making sure that they are safe when doing it, okay? Even though that you're there, doesn't matter. We just want to make sure, and we want to be proactive and preventative rather than sustaining a fall. Number 2, explore adult day programs. If the activities at home are not plentiful or there's not enough socialization for maybe somebody to come over visit on a regular basis, we need to go out and find it. Some folks have home care, which is wonderful, but it's limited to maybe 1 or 2 individuals in the home. But if you want more of a vibrant atmosphere, a little bit more active, the adult day programs are wonderful. You could use that private duty service, taking them to the adult program. So they're assisted there as well, too. So it's not negating the home care program. Adult day programs are usually, of course, during the day. They do provide meals most of the time as well, too. If it's within an assisted living, they are have to have a bed ready for your loved one to be able to rest. So there is a little bit more of a higher cost to that as well. But that might be a very good invitation, a caveat to introduce them to that senior living, that they might want to live there permanently. So it gives them a good taste of what there is to offer at that community. So adult programs are great. They're very, very active and robust. They're very well managed, meaning that there is a lot of staff there as well too. And primarily it is all about the activities, and there is meal planning as well. Let's harp on hobbies. If there was a hobby that was done, quite a bit ago, why are we not doing it now as they get older? So let's participate in them as much as can be. Maybe it's crafts, maybe it's crocheting. You heard me talk of the story of my little lady that crocheted so much of her life, but unfortunately, she made all her gifts and didn't have a need to give out anymore. So she introduced crocheting to the rest of the ladies at her senior living, and they ended up being very, very proactive with doing the crocheting that they started making lap blankets and baby hats for the babies in the infant unit, the birthing unit at the local hospital. So, you know, there is so many things that can be done. There could be journaling, there could be scrapbooking, there could be puzzles. There is so many hobbies that doesn't take a lot of task, but it's getting them busy and getting them active rather than just sitting there all day, maybe watching TV. So think of things that are something that is affordable, something that can be done within in the home setting, maybe in the adult program setting. And it also introduces them to senior living too, where activities are robust. Busy the brain. I can't say that enough. And you know, I always talk about the 4 pillars of needs, the third one being social. Stimulation for the brain is important no matter how old, how much memory deficit there is. If you don't use it, same thing. Our brain is one of our biggest muscles. So if we're not utilizing it on a regular basis, it kind of levels it out. So let's stimulate the brain. Maybe a puzzle. Today I did a tour in a wonderful memory care unit, and a lady was doing a puzzle. And she was really, really enjoying it. She with a caregiver and another resident there putting a puzzle together, and she felt so accomplished. And the great thing was, she goes, "This is an end piece." So, you know, stimulating that brain is so, so important. And we don't want it to be in existence during the day. So it could be simple things. It could also be doing puzzles. It could be doing coloring. It could be drawing. It could be a lot of things. Matching, a lot of tasks oriented, but stimulation is important. Number 5 is schedule weekly outings and activities. If you don't plan it, it never happens, right? So if you plan an activity with your senior loved one and say every Wednesday, we're going to go out for lunch and maybe a tea party, or we're going to go to the local gardens that we're going to go visit. If you plan something on a regular basis and it being weekly, again, what is it? That senior is now looking forward to that day. Just like they did in the past, they scheduled their golf events, their tennis events, pickleball, whatever that they were very, very active with, they scheduled, they knew it was going to be at that time, so it was something to look forward to. So when now the slate is clean and there's not any activities anymore, there's really nothing to look forward to. So if you plan and schedule weekly events and activities, it's something there that they're going to adhere to and be involved in and look forward to. And honestly, within senior living, that is planned for your senior loved one. There's a robust of activities that they can look at a calendar and pick and choose what activity that they want to go to. And I promise you, when your loved one is in senior living, you're going to have to make an appointment with them because they're going to be so busy. Consider a pet. For ones that are at home, maybe a pet that doesn't require too much maintenance or walking. A kitty cat is wonderful, and it gives them some responsibility. They love on them as well too. So maybe that would be great. Just as a word of caution with cats, dogs, whatever that it may be, just if they're really teeter-totter, meaning they're not their abnormality of gait, or they're very cautious on their footing, be careful because they could trip on their pet as well too. But it gives them a responsibility. It's a great benefit to our elder adults, them nurturing their pet, and they become very, very good friends with one another. Even on their bad days, just having a kitty cat in your lap and just petting the kitty cat, there's a bond that like no other. Seven, utilize technology. It doesn't matter how old you are, technology is wonderful. It doesn't have to be just the TV, smart TV or smartphone. There's a lot of technology that are senior oriented as well too, even an iPad, them playing games. There is no excuse. I know one of my clients, she's 98 and she plays on her iPad quite frequently, stimulating the brain. It gives them a lot of motor skills as well too. It's a lot of things for them to enjoy. Even with the iPad, there's FaceTime, there's talking to family across the United States, and it is wonderful, wonderful for communication with one another. So don't not utilize technology for your senior loved one. It enhances their days, and sometimes it's good for even safety measures as well too. Having something, a device that they can call, for emergency purposes. If you don't come up with a plan, like I said, these 7 little tricks of the trade or some tips on being active and busy is only to the benefit of your senior loved one. If you don't try it, you will never know the ways of it being wonderful. And it's not a task, but it's going to be an enjoyment. So start something. Don't wait. Start now. It's spring coming up, and the more activities that they are enjoying, the more that you could add to the schedule. In the coming weeks, for the month of March, I'm going to be talking about a lot of activities that will enhance your senior loved one. And all I could say is if you keep trying it, if you try one of these, two of these part that I gave you today, and then you add some on later on, and all these other things that I'm going to talk about too in the coming weeks, just think how wonderful and how much they're going to look forward to the next day or the next activity. As always, I always lead you to my website. It is www.goldenruleseniorplacement.com. There you will find my information, my demographics, my bio, testimonials, various options, resources, and all these video talks are libraried there as well too, in a great way of communicating with me. So to no further ado, have a blessed week. Happy March, and march to it. Let's get going and get busy. Let's get physical. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Tuesday Talks with Linda McKenna of Golden Rule Senior Placement Services. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye now. See you next week. Bye-bye.